I'm sure you've heard of this saying before. Opinions are like arseholes. Everybody has one. Today, I'm going to show you my There's probably two types of players that are going to be looking at Throne Liberty expansion as a way to spend their time in a game to play. People who have never played the game before, and people who are looking to return to the game. So you guys that are already playing it, you're all good to go. If you're looking for the quick answer, then it's yes. You don't have to watch the rest of the video. Yes. It's actually a very good game. It's well made, and the expansion adds a ton of fun content that you can indulge yourself in, whether you're a PvP enjoyer or a PvE enjoyer. These days, I'm a casual dad gamer. TNL is my main game, and I've been just warlogging over the last few weeks while we've been traveling around Scotland and its islands over the winter. So this is a casual, homeless man's opinion on the expansion. So the game actually released on the 1st of October 2024, and genuinely been taking on feedback to whoever's been playing and implementing changes based on that feedback. So the game's been improving since its launch, and I genuinely think it's going to continue improving over the next year. The expansion brings a whole new zone called Talandre, which basically doubles the playable area, which is both on ground and below ground. If you take a look at Silas Abyss, for example, it goes down 6 floors. The expansion brings some dungeons that also go down deep into the ground. It introduces a whole new storyline with some fun quests and genuinely engaging content. But I do fear that most of us casual gamers, this may be where the fun ends with Talandre. Getting into endgame PvE or PvP in TNL requires a certain caliber of player. You genuinely need to be dedicated. You should be active pretty much daily, and you should be in a well-established guild that is capable of competing with other guilds on that server. So you'll be willing to have a, competition against the world bosses and stuff for loot. Worst case is you can't, and you need to be willing to have a cheeky swipe, and maybe even if you're in that guild, you should be willing to swipe a little bit of money as well. So unless drastic changes have been made from the KR version of Talandre, your grind is genuinely about to be real on this expansion. To put into perspective, most of the popular Throne and Liberty videos the past month have been about what you should be doing daily over the past 4 to 6 weeks. And weekly to essentially stockpile materials for the expansion, upwards of probably 300 million Solent just as one of the items. I did put together quite a casual guide towards preparing for the expansion, and once the expansion launches, what you need to be thinking about if you don't have those materials yet. You can find that in the description below. The gear gap between new and returning players versus those who have been on the stockpile grind for months is going to be extremely apparent, and I think this is where the game may bleed players unless the game introduces a more casual approach for people to get gear to have a chance to compete with the rest. Not be as good or have as much gear, but just essentially be able to compete. I've always banged on about this for a long time. When we're playing games like this, it's fine. Like for me, it's good if there's a skill or a gear ceiling, should I say, and the skill ceiling allows you to push beyond that. And of course, MMOs, right? We need a grind, like the runes or masteries or whatever. Those pieces of content that allows us to grind more should only increase that ceiling just a small amount. So if I come back in 6 months, I'm not going to feel completely overwhelmed just because you've been, hard grinding and I don't have a chance anymore. I know that's kind of controversial, but the bottom line is everyone gets to a gear ceiling within a sensible time frame, and then the playability is the content, the repeatability is the content, the new people you play against and stuff. My worry is that TNL has such a big gear gap once you get towards tier 2, and it's quite aggressive on how you get that gear. I know they're thinking about changing stuff, but I think if they reduce the power, so if I go away for 3 weeks, I'm not going to be terrified that I'm falling 3 weeks behind, and that's a massive thing, and I'm kind of out of the game, so I quit. Anyway, if that doesn't bother you, and you're not too fussed about being in front of the curve, and you're happy to kind of casually catch up once the prices drop on the auction house and everyone starts to get their loot and it starts to distribute between one another, then this expansion is probably one of the best expansions I've seen in an MMO for a very long time. So if you've made it this far, or you've skipped to the end, the TLDR is, yes, you should give the expansion a try. It's a free expansion. until you're required to survive. And I'll genuinely be playing it, and I'll be playing it from, I think it's 6th of March when it launches, or if you're watching this after 6th of March, I'm playing it now. We are currently still in Scotland. We'll be streaming full time from the van. We're currently on the Isle of Skye as I'm recording this, and the sunset's just gone. Sunset's just behind us. It's been an amazing day. But yeah, I'll be streaming over on twitch.tv/Danneh TV. So feel free to drop by and come and ask some questions, and I'll do my best to help. But yeah, if you're not playing, all good. See you on the next game. If you are playing, see you in the game. It should be good fun, at least for a good few weeks. Remember, there's milestones, so even the guys that have all the gear early on, they're going to be behind these milestones, so we have a chance to grind and catch up. But either way, give it a go. The storyline's fun, whether you're playing as a solo or as a group. And yeah, you really enjoy it. Anyway, long story short, thanks for watching. See you on the next video.